here. So the previous palace of Maria Teresa, they redo, they reconstruct for the royal. Sorry, I can't.
Today it's a museum. Several Viking ships here. And a guy that's the mayor and is running for re-election wants to move them to the outskirts of town and make a nice big esplanade here. This is a chain bridge built in 1840 something.
It's built of Roman ruins to start with, then it has a medieval part, then it was used by the Turks as a mosque for 145 years, and then given back to the Catholics, and now it looks like a big Baroque church. And what's interesting in the church, that you can have a time travel in an elevator. You go down to the basement, hop into the elevator, and zip through all the layers of the church up to the towers. As an invitation from Saint Stephen to teach his only son and to convert the pagan Hungarians to Christianity. But poor man had an extremely sad end, because when Stephen died in 1038, the vicious Hungarians didn't want to convert, so they put him in a barrel and rolled him down from the hill. And as a compensation, the hill is named after him, a square, an avenue, a church, a hotel, a spa is named after him. And this hill is important in the life of Budapest today, because in the belly of the hill you find the largest water reservoir of Budapest.
Came from England, built as a bridge.
There's a funicular.
Fall in love with the Hungarian Greek lady.
Climbing up the Buda mountain in this van, because they don't allow the big buses anymore. The Fisherman's Bastion from down below. The Holy Trinity column. It was erected in 1713, commemorating the people of Buda, who died from 2 outbreaks of the Black Plague in 1691 and 1706.
Also, this brand new, not renewed, not kind of reconstructed or restored building, but it is from its basement to the top, brand new. All the materials are modern, everything is absolutely as it was on the plans of the architect from the time of Franz Joseph. What happened? The Second World War, big and bad bombardments ruined Buda. Previous shape, with all the palaces and buildings, how it used to be once upon a time. It's going to be nice and shiny and show up, but we know it's not the original. It's something of a nice wedding, and it is called the Bride's Gate. And when it's open in the most romantic way, usually csak befejezem a mondatot, és akkor szétválunk, jó? Okay.
Not allowing the big buses up here certainly hasn't affected the crowds.
On his head, the crown, which is also big. So now the things are connected. The crown,
Saint Stephen.
The right hand, and the crown, which is also on our money, if you change money.
Matthias Church, the beautiful roof, and there's St. Stephen if you live in this area.
In those times, Hungarians ate more fish than nowadays, and they were providing their catch on the great market, which was here by the Holy Trinity, which we just saw. But if there was an attack from the eastern part of the country, which is the Pest side nowadays, then they would be a kind of soldiers, army, protection. They were amortizing attacks, and many times they saved people down. They were kind of sacrificing themselves.
St. Stephen's Dome, and to the right, hopefully you can see the Ferris wheel, and our hotel is nearby. Top of the spire, there's a raven, and that's a symbol of the country. The raven has a golden ring in its mouth. Hilton Hotel, built right next to this church. A lot of people want it gone.
They were here
13th century.
burning violating, killing people. So he skipped down to Dalmatia. You know town Split in Croatia? Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Down there, he was waiting for his fortune if they're going to leave or not leave the country. And the Mongols had at their own private issue. Batu Khan, Genghis Khan were changing each other on the throne back in Mongolia. So there were problems around the throne. So they just turned 180 degrees and went home. Bela got the information. Tatars, Mongols are gone, come home quickly. He came back and he established again the country, the state, the town. He chose this place here, this hill, this cliff to make his first castle here, that Imre. In the meantime, his daughter was born, Margaret, and because he made a vow to God, if I ever go home, if I'm going to be able to make my country again, put it on feet, I'm going to give as a sacrifice my newborn child to God, and he built for her a convent on that island. And she lived there in the isolation. That's why they call the island Margaret Island.
Turks were here, it was turned into a mosque. And they left, it became a church again.
A message he sent.
The man who did the renovation wanted it known that this once was a mosque. Spiral like a snail with the lamb off center.
Matthias came to the throne. As his third wife, he married Beatrix from Aragona, Italian lady. Came here and she was very happy.
Loreto Chapel of medieval origin preserves a Madonna statue from the 17th century. It was created to replace the original sculpture, which was walled in during the Turkish occupation of the church. In 1686, during the siege of Buda by the Holy League, a wall of the church, used as a mosque by the Ottoman occupiers, collapsed due to cannon fire. It turned out an old votive Madonna statue was hidden behind the wall. As a sculpture of the Virgin Mary appeared, the morale of the Muslim garrison collapsed and the city fell the same day. Beheaded apostles.
Because their religion is prohibiting human face. So this is the reconstruction. Of the main gate, which is here in a copy of us.
He was a Hungarian communist politician who served as chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Hungarian People's Republic from 1953 to 55. A year later, he became the leader of the Hungarian Revolution of 1956 against the Soviet-backed government. The uprising lasted 12 days before being crushed by Soviet tanks and troops. Thousands were killed and wounded, and nearly 250,000 Hungarians fled the country. He and other leaders were secretly tried, sentenced to death, and executed.